Oh, this is Debbie Emerson, and welcome to the healing meditation for December 2024. So, the theme this month is the Three of Cups. So, I'm just going to go ahead and read this explanation a little bit, and then we can get going. So, the keywords for this card are socializing, karma, and boundaries. And the meaning is celebrations. So, we'll go more into that as we go along. So I guess we're going to look at what keeps us from having, what keeps us from celebrating, what keeps us from being in that playful and happy space. And then when we are socializing and when we are celebrating, we can take a look at, karma and boundaries in regards to that specific space. So find yourself a nice, comfortable place and space where you can be undisturbed for a few minutes. And go ahead and get yourself situated with your feet flat on the floor, your arms and legs uncrossed, your back comfortably straight. And when you're ready, you can just gently close your eyes and just begin to focus on your breathing. Just feel that flow of breath as it fills your lungs, and as you exhale, and as you're observing that breath, just take a moment to check in with your body and send your body some love and appreciation, and ask your body if there's anything that it would like you to do for it or give it. Maybe it wants to get up and move more. Maybe it wants some specific food or a little more water. Just let your body know that you're going to get that to it and give that to it as soon as you possibly can. And then just bring your awareness up into the center of your head. And as you settle yourself into that space in the center of your head, just go ahead and decide you're going to own it and expand your energy in that space. And as you expand your energy, just decide that you're going to let anything that's not you in the center of your head just ground out. And it's going to begin to kind of, sift down through your space. And as it's happening, let's go ahead and just quickly say hello to our old grounding cord, thank it and let it go, and create a brand new grounding cord in present time. Nice, big, strong, capable grounding cord, reflecting who you are and where you are. And make that grounding cord at least as wide as your hips, if not wider, connecting it to that root chakra and letting it extend all the way down into the center of the earth and connecting it into the center of the earth. Setting it on release and just letting it go to town and do its job. So it will connect your body to the earth, which helps your body feel safer, gives you a place to release foreign energy into, so it can be sent to the center of the earth and basically recycled and cleaned up and released to go back to wherever it came from or whoever it came from. Okay, so you can turn on that viewing screen out in front of your forehead, ground it, clean it up a little bit, give it a gold sun. You can also take a nice big gold sticky rose and clean off that viewing triangle. So the viewing triangle goes from the crown down to the center of the head, straight down through the head. And then it comes from the center of your head out to that viewing screen. Well, actually, it comes from the crown and then out to the viewing screen. So it makes like a unicorn horn as it projects out on that viewing screen. And so I see it kind of like a projection TV. And if you're more comfortable, some people see that screen like in the back of their head, in their mind, what we call the mind's eye. So however you want to use that screen or view that screen is completely up to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and notice that grounding cord working for you, and notice how quiet that center of your head space becomes as you start to release anything that's not you, all that foreign energy or voices or whatever you found in there. And then go ahead and just decide you're going to bring up some nice, beautiful earth energy in whatever color your body likes. You could just bring up gold, or you could ask your body if there's a particular color you'd like to bring up. So just bring that energy up into those feet chakras that are like in the arches of your feet. And that energy, as it flows up into those feet chakras, it's going to continue up through the center of your legs, up behind your knees, up through the center of your thighs. And those channels are going to feed right into that root chakra. So just notice that energy as you begin to focus on it and bring it up into those 8 leg channels. I will also call them earth energy channels. And as that energy flows up through those leg channels, it's just going to clear out anything that's not yours. I can't speak this morning. And it's going to free up your creative energy so that you can use it for yourself to create what you'd like in your life. And then as it spills over from that root chakra, it's just going to spill down that grounding cord. So the way I see it is it just makes a nice circuit. It comes up those leg channels, goes into the root chakra, goes down the grounding cord, and just creates this nice circuit and nice connection and nice feeling of safety for the body. All right. So go ahead and put your attention on the top of your head where your crown chakra sits. And then just begin to bring in a nice big column of beautiful cosmic energy. Again, you can bring in gold. You can ask your body if there's a particular color, or there might be several colors that your body would like for you to bring in right now. You can bring that in just one big column of energy. It goes into the crown chakra, sits about here, right where that baby soft spot would be. So it goes into the back channels, back of the crown chakra, and there's 4 channels on either side of your head. So like right about just down the back of your head. And then it continues down along your spine, 2 channels on either side of the spine. So that energy is going to flow down those 2 channels on either side of your spine, all the way to that root chakra. And got a little hair that keeps bugging me. And when it gets to that root chakra, you're just going to let about 15% of that cosmic energy just go down the grounding cord. And then you're going to pick up about 15% of the earth energy that's flowing into that root chakra. And that mixture of 85% cosmic energy and 15% earth energy is going to flow up the front channels. And there's a little bit of a pumping action in that root chakra. It's a little bit related to your sacral, your sacrum. And that pumping action is just going to bring that energy up the front channels. So there's 1 channel on either side of the spine. When it gets to the throat, it's going to branch off, and it's going to go below the shoulders, down through the center of the arms, and out the hand chakras. And as it continues up, it's going to fountain right out that crown chakra. And that mixture of energy is going to come up, but out is going to flow back into your aura. And so that just gives you another avenue or another way to nudge foreign energies out of your space. So just take a moment to enjoy that earth and cosmic energy flowing. And as you're noticing that in the center of your head, just take note of anything that you notice, any sensations you feel, any places where you feel like that energy isn't flowing as easily as other places. And as you put your attention on it, you might notice that just that attention on those spaces gets that energy moving through there. All right. So let's go ahead and just notice where your aura is. If it's bigger than the room you're in, or bigger than the house you're in, or the building you're in, that's okay. Just notice how you like to keep that aura, where you like to keep that aura. And just for now, as we work, go ahead and bring that aura in about arm's length around your body. So that's front, side, back, and about an arm's length above your head, arm's length below your head. That way you can kind of have a little more awareness and attention and notice more easily what's going on in that big shaped bubble around your body. And then go ahead and ground your aura into your grounding cord. And again, that's giving you another way to really continue to release more and more energy. All right, so just notice that energy as it's releasing. And you might notice how quickly and how easily and how much energy is releasing. So what you're doing is you're just releasing everything that's not you, and all that stuff that's been in your space that isn't yours has been taking up space for you or where you could be. So what we're going to do now is, because you created all this space, you're going to go ahead and just collect up a gold sun above your head. And I see that gold sun again about arm's length above my head. And that gold sun is just going to call back or magnetize or attract your energy, however you want to see it, from wherever it is. And so we're each a unique set of frequencies. And so we're all from source, or we all have that spark of source within us, but we're also a unique set of frequencies that can be recognized. Just like we recognize the way somebody looks or the way somebody walks, we can recognize our own particular set of energetic frequencies that make us who we are. So you're going to call that life force energy that's specifically perfectly attuned to your own unique set of frequencies into that gold sun. And just a reminder, when you're working with energy like this, working in the spiritual realms, you don't try hard, no effort. What really makes things or helps things to move along and makes things work easier is to have amusement. So if you find yourself getting caught up in trying to push hard or trying to make things happen, or if you find yourself, getting pulled down into some sadness or things like that, just try to think of something that you can pull out as your emergency amusement, and just something that's going to make you either smile out loud or laugh out loud, or something that's going to just bring that amusement back to you so that you can raise your frequency. Because as we know, everything's frequency, emotions are frequency, and amusement is a high vibration. And when we get down into anger and pain and sorrow and sadness and grief, boredom and apathy, responsibility, those kinds of things, that's a very low vibration. And it's really difficult to move energy when you're in that low vibration. Okay. And if you find yourself holding your breath, that's an indication that there's something coming up and coming out that on a subconscious level, you may be resisting. Because sometimes we have this feeling that, if we let this come out, I might get stuck in that feeling. I might get stuck in that anger or sadness or whatever it is. But what happens is when those things came into our space, or when the experiences happened, we were most likely less aware than we are now. So when we're sitting in this space of running energy, we're in a more aware space. So as that energy is coming up and out, we're more aware of it. So the best thing to do is just let it go. Let it come up, let it go, let it flow, and it's coming out. And that's what we want. We want to let it go. So then we can bring in more of our own life force energy and fill ourselves up with what it is we would like to have and how we would like to create our space, which is our universe, to create. And this is what we can control, our universe. We're the creators of our own universe. So after that long explanation, go ahead and bring that gold sun in. You don't have to reach up, but if you're just starting this, you can imagine reaching up, maybe even poking a hole in it, and just letting that gold sun energy flow down into the crown. It's going to flow all the way down through the body into all the chakras, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus below the rib cage, the sacral chakra, like right below the navel area, and the root chakra. And so that energy is going to fill up all those chakras. It's going to expand into all of the energy channels in your body. It's going to expand. I see it as going inward. It continues to go inward into all the levels and layers of your body, down to the tiniest microscopic aspects of what our body is, the cells and the DNA and the protons, the neutrons, and all those things that even go smaller than what we commonly know about. So again, remind yourself to breathe. And then it's going to expand out. It's going to expand out into all those layers of your aura. And when I talk about the layers of the aura, they're not specifically defined, but each layer is connected to and even generated by each one of the chakras. So when I teach people and when I read, oftentimes I'll look at the different layers of the aura because they're connected to different areas of a person's life. So, all right. So take a moment, and if you found yourself wandering around, checking out your energy, just go ahead and bring yourself back up to the center of your head and have a seat there. The reason we go to the center of the head is it's a neutral space. It allows us to be aware of and observe and not get caught up in the emotions of things that are releasing or in the emotions of what we're looking at. So it allows us to just kind of be that neutral observer. All righty. So now that we're filled up with our own energy, we're grounded, we're running that earth and cosmic energy, our aura is grounded. There's one last thing that I like to remind you of, if you've done this before or if you've never done it, talk about it. So I use what I call a protection rose or separation rose, and I put it right on the outside edge of my aura. So, if you have your aura about arm's length, you can't see it in the picture, arm's length away from your body, it's going to be like right on the outside edge of that aura. So if you have a protection rose in place, just thank it and explode it. And then create a brand new rose, whatever kind of rose you like. Could be, pink rose, a red rose, a white rose, a striped rose, a polka dotted rose, whatever you like, because that represents you and your energy. And you're going to place it on the outside edge of that aura, and you're going to ground it. So you're just going to let that stem grow really long so it's connected into the center of the earth, just like your grounding cord is. And so that rose is going to be grounded. And what it's going to do is it's going to move around the outside edge of your aura. And if any energy comes your way and is trying to get into your space, into your aura, it's going to kind of be, I see it kind of like a catcher's mitt. It's going to catch that energy and it's going to ground it out before it finds its way into your space. Now, of course, it's not perfect. Sometimes we're bombarded with lots of energies, but it does help. I've been using it for, 30 years or so, and it really does help. So the thing with all of these tools is it's important to keep them in present time. So every time you sit down to do this practice, you want to let go of your old grounding cord and create a new one. Blow up your protection rose and create a new one. Because each time you do this, you are more capable. So each time you create anew and create in present time these tools, they are more capable and stronger. So this is how we set ourselves up for the healing meditation. And I'm going to go through and just talk about this card that I mentioned in the beginning, because what I do is I choose a card of the month, and that's kind of the theme for the month. And then we kind of work the energy around whatever that card's talking about. So the last thing I want to talk about before I begin here is we're going to also use a rose to clear energy. So imagine a rose out in front of your forehead. It can be on that screen if you like using the screen, whatever color rose it is, or it can be a clear rose. And then what you're going to do is just say, I'm going to say something like, let the energy of sadness go out into that rose. And just that intention of wanting to bring that sadness to the surface is going to allow that energy to start to fill in that rose. So if you use a clear rose, you can see it kind of start filling in. And and then you're going to blow that rose up. So this is just another layer and another level and another tool that's going to help you to move lots and lots of energy. So also a couple of things I want to say is when you're grounding yourself, you're never going to lose any of your own energy. The only thing that's going to release, the only thing you're going to let go of is stuff that's not yours. And when we use this rose tool, same thing. What we're doing is we're de-energizing mental image pictures. And these mental image pictures are like a hologram. And they have all kinds of information. And they have thoughts, feelings, images, the whole thing, like you were like the holodeck on Star Trek, where they'd walk into this holodeck and they'd feel like they were in a completely different world. So that's kind of what these mental image pictures are like. And when they get re-stimulated in our space, it brings us right back to whatever that experience was. And the more intense the emotions are, the more those mental image pictures kind of get us hung up. So what we're doing when we release them into that rose and explode the rose is we're not going to lose the memory of whatever that experience was, but we're going to de-energize. We're going to take the emotional charge off of those pictures. And then when you have similar experiences, or when those pictures pop up again, you'll go, oh, yeah, that wasn't such a great time, but it's not going to hang you up like it might have in the past. And what happens is usually there's not just one picture. There's, pictures stacked upon each other. So there's levels and layers. And so the more you do this work, the more you're going to clear, all of this stuff that's kind of globbed on together. Because what happens is we might have a root experience, like maybe when you're a kid, a big black dog barked at you or scared you. So, every time you might, have this fear, and you might not really understand it because you might have been 2 or you might have been really young when it happened. But then for some reason, all through your life, when you see a black dog, it kind of, if it doesn't scare you per se, it might make you feel uncomfortable, or you might not understand. So anyway, all these experiences kind of get globbed onto that original experience, and it's called like the root experience, or the core picture. So the goal is to move enough energy and to clear enough of these mental image pictures to get to that core picture. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and practice this creating and destroying rose tool. The other thing I want to say too is the only energy that works in your space is your own energy. So when we take on other people's energy, which we do all the time, we're like fish who live in the water, but we live in a sea of energy. And we're interacting energetically all the time. We're all psychic. We all get our energies intermixed and intertwined, and which is fine. The only thing that gets us hung up is when we don't let things just flow through us, when they kind of get caught up in our spaces. So let's go ahead and do some work here. And hopefully, if you've never done this before, if you practice it a few times over, you'll start to get a sense of what I'm talking about. So say hello to the center of your head and that grounding cord. You can say hello to the earth and cosmic energy running. And the reason I tell you to say hello to things is because everything is spirit being everything in our world. And spirit likes to be communicated to. So by simply saying hello, it validates spirit. And when you've set your space up and you've got your grounding cord going and your earth and cosmic energy running, and you go through your day, because this is something you want to use all throughout your your day. These are tools you want to take into your everyday world. And as you get distracted and are doing different things, that earth and cosmic energy will still be running, but it might slow down. So when you put your attention on it, you say hello to it, it's going to kick it up a notch, and it's going to kind of boost it a little bit. Okay, so 3 of Cups. And I thought this was very appropriate because this is a season of celebrations. So 3 of Cups, celebrations. And so this card is one of playfulness and happiness and socializing and being with other people and communities coming together. So go ahead and put a rose up in front of you. You can put that clear rose if you like, or whatever kind of rose you like. And just let anything that might keep you from having that playfulness, from feeling playful, from being happy, from enjoying being with other people and enjoy coming together in a community, just anything that might come up around that. Family gatherings. We all love our families for the most part, but sometimes the dynamics can be a little bit crazy, especially around the holidays. So anything that comes up for you, just decide you're going to let it go into that rose. And again, no effort. This is all through intention. All you have to do is intend, and it is. That's how quickly things happen in the spiritual realms. So we're working in spirit, and things change immediately. Okay, so as that rose gets filled up, go ahead and explode it. And then create another rose for anything else that's floating around there that keeps you from being playful and happy and having fun socializing and being with the community, being with your family during the holidays. Let that rose fill up with whatever that is. If you might know what it is, you might get a sense of what it is, you might feel sensations in your body. It doesn't matter. It's working. And go ahead and explode that rose. So there's a lot of fun and energy as we reunite with old friends or meet new ones. But sometimes it can be a little challenging. It can be a little, what's the word? You can feel a little bit nervous about meeting new people. You can feel maybe a little bit of social anxiety. You might feel like, oh, what am I going to say to this person that I don't know? So anything around that that's coming up, just go ahead and let it go out into that rose and explode it. And as I walk you through these tools, I'm taking more time. All of these things can be done very, very quickly. You could set all this stuff up in 5 minutes. If you did this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, you'd begin to see a very, very good and positive difference in the way you feel. Okay, so anything else around meeting new friends, seeing old friends, any social anxiety, anything that's coming up for you, just let it go out into that rose, another rose there, and explode it. So this card also talks about weddings and parties and people being in union and feeling balanced and joyful. So anything that might keep you out of those spaces of feeling in balance and feeling joyful. Go ahead and create and destroy some roses for that. Let's go ahead and create and destroy a couple roses for karmic lessons. Whatever that might mean to you. Your higher self knows. So don't, if you begin analyzing things, just go ahead and kind of imagine you can step out of that analytical mind and trust that your higher self knows. And that as is needed, the understanding will filter into your conscious mind, your conscious thought processes. So create and destroy one more rose around any karmic lessons. And now let's create and destroy some roses for hard work and how we're rewarded for hard work and also loyalty. Whatever that means to you. Let's create and destroy 2 or 3 roses. And then just create and destroy some roses for anything that might be considered negative, or you might consider negative, or other people might consider negative. Anything that might cause you to feel like you're stuck or blocked. Just create, destroy a rose and explode it. It happens that quickly. Create a rose and explode it. And then just create and destroy a couple roses around overindulging. There's so many temptations during the holidays with sweets and good food and so forth, especially if you're at parties. Drink, drinks of all kinds. And this card also talks about romantic temptations. So just create and destroy a couple roses for whatever that means to you. If you're single, that might be a good thing. If you're not, that might not be such a good thing for the relationship you're in. But whatever that means for you. All right, so a couple nice deep breaths. Say hello to the center of your head. Say hello to that earth and cosmic energy running. So as I said, when you're working in spirit, it's important to be in that space of no effort and amusement. Things happen immediately just through your intention. You don't have to try hard to blow a rose or create a rose. If you don't think you're seeing the rose, don't worry about it. Just know it's there and you are creating it because you are a creator. That's who you are. I was listening to somebody yesterday and she was even explaining that when we speak, it actually, when someone's very clairvoyant, they can actually see the reverberations of our sound, the sound of our voice and the words we're saying and the way we're saying them going out into the vibrational field. And she can see how that affects the field. So that's an interesting thing to think about. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean we're not doing something and we're not affecting things. So the moon message, this is from a deck of cards called tarot cards called The Moon and Star Tarot Cards by Jane Wallace. And so the moon message is to celebrate and enjoy what you have achieved. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say too is, so in spirit, everything changes immediately, but the body is spirit because spirit is being everything, but the body is a more dense or slower moving frequency than we are when we're out of the body. When we're out of the body, there's no time, no space. We can walk through walls. If you have ever, you can do all kinds of things when you're in your dream space, on the astral space at night. You can fly, you can walk through walls, you can do all sorts of things. And if you practice or you have ever practiced being out of body, having out of body experiences and consciously leaving your body and traveling in your energy body, you can do the same thing. So my point is, your body is going to take a little bit longer to adjust to the energetic changes that you've created. So sometimes the body freaks out a little bit when you start to change a lot of energy because it's like, what are you doing? You're moving too much furniture all at the same time. I'm all confused. And so sometimes we have to treat our body kind of like our puppy dog or a kitty cat, and just really reassure our body and explain to our body that we appreciate it very much and we're taking good care of it. And it's after you move a lot of energy, it's always good to drink some extra water, have some good food, and again, connect with your body. Ask your body, what does it need? What would it like? What would make it feel safe? So you're a team. If we didn't have our bodies, we wouldn't be here in this particular experience. So that was a lot. And I wasn't necessarily intending to go through all of that. But I hope that if you haven't been doing this type of meditation with me before, or if you have, that this is a really good refresher course and reminder of the tools that I teach and I've been practicing since 1990. I lose track of how many years ago that was. I guess that's 34 going on 35 years. It's hard to believe. So once again, thank you so much for joining me here. And if I forgot to remind you to bring in the gold sun, go ahead and do that right now. I think I did. I'm getting distracted. Bringing lots of joy and amusement and lots of Christmas cheer, Happy New Year's, whatever you celebrate. Just bring in the highest level of experience and beauty and joy and love that you can possibly bring in to your gold sun space, because you're the creator. You can bring anything into that gold sun space that you would like to have. You bring it in as a frequency. That frequency comes into your space, into your body, and you start to match that frequency. So you can do that with money, good health, amusement, joy, anything you want. Validate yourself. All right, so fill yourself up with that gold sun. I always like to lean over and stretch, move my body, open your eyes, of course, first. I always like to look around too, because oftentimes things look clearer. It seems like there's more clarity, or I'll notice something in the room I'm in that I didn't notice before, or the colors might seem brighter. So there you go. So now, thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. And I wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, or whatever way you celebrate, however you celebrate. Just enjoy yourself. Over the years, especially the last 5 years, I have realized that one of our greatest contributions to the world is to do what we love, to do what we enjoy. We're here to enjoy life. So have fun. Take care, and I'll see you in January.